Today on Land Beat, we're going to be talking about TSI, both past and future, to ensure a healthy forest for more wildlife and hunting success. When we're talking about TSI, we're always talking about timber stand improvement. Now, we at Land and Legacy like to manage our forest so there is future timber harvesting, because that's income that can come to the farm so you can put it into other projects or help pay for the farm. So we always try to manage, if there's the possibility, manage for future harvest. Now, we also want to do a tweak so it's not detrimental to the wildlife that we love and manage for. So on this site though,
usually there's a healthy balance with that landowner's goals.
Yeah, and on this site there's some TSI that's been done, it looks like at multiple times, but it failed to address one major issue with timber stand improvement. And so we're here to talk about that. Obviously, there's not a lot to talk about when it comes to deer cover or deer forage.
Right.
Because it is slim pickings around here.
Very, very bare. You can tell that there's been fire on the ground too with some of the stumps that had been previously cut. Correct. You see that this has not only been thinned probably multiple times, but also been burned frequently.
Yeah, so you can see stumps and tops from a previous TSI and then a more recent TSI through hack and squirt method, which seem to have targeted flowering dogwood, ash, and some other species.
And very small diameter trees as well.
Really killed out the mid-story. Now this TSI and this woodlot, this is something that a lot of people will probably face when they start timber stand improvement. Two main errors made in this that we can all learn from. One being fail to open the canopy. Fail to open the overstory so we get more sunlight to stimulate new growth or future oaks. This is an oak hickory dominated landscape, and it should certainly have 3 layers of oak hickory all the way down to the understory. The other main error was it was not addressed killing oaks. So the previous people who did the TSI did not kill any oaks and treated it as if all oaks were good, it appears, because no oaks are dead, and we are very high basal area, very high stems per acre, if you will, of oaks, and a lot of them are junk. So we have a very stressed out forest just because we failed, or they failed to address the stressed, diseased, lower value oaks.
Yeah, points 1 and 2 are really closely tied together, because
Correct.
If you open up that canopy more, that's going to produce more sunlight on the ground, and that's what oaks and hickory and an oak hickory forest, the future forest, needs to be able to reproduce and have viable acorns on the ground that resprout with that added sunlight. So as you go and address the overstory more, you're going to get the better understory and produce that future forest of the oaks and hickories.
Yeah, so thinning the stressed, diseased, crooked, bad looking oaks will get you more sunlight, but it will also release the oaks that are healthier adjacent, which the University of Tennessee, great research, found that those then produce more acorns.
Absolutely.
So we're getting more production out of the fewer trees we have, which provide more production on the entire landscape for the wildlife.
This is, I think, where most landowners do fail in the process, is they're not critical enough of the trees. Yeah. If it's a healthy tree, it should stay, if it's adequately spaced with the other trees. But if it is diseased, and if it is weak, it needs to go. And I think that
even if it's a white oak.
Yeah, that culling process is hard for people to see that or differentiate that, or just get to the point where they can feasibly say, you need to go despite the species of oak that it may be. We're here to say, open up that canopy, produce the future forest, and not what you're just looking at like what we're seeing here.
So the TSI would also help increase timber value, more acorns, more habitat, overall create a healthier landscape.
Go big or go home.
Yeah.